The war over Hindutva has reignited, and how? In his book on the Ayodhya verdict, Congress leader and former Law Minister Salman Khurshid has compared Hindutva to terrorist organizations like ISIS and Boko Haram. This one excerpt from Khurshid's 300-page book, Sunrise over Ayodhya, Nationhood in Our Times, has triggered a massive political storm, with the BJP accusing the Congress of being anti-Hindu.
Hindutva, same as jihadist ISIS and Boko Haram. Hinduism pushed aside by robust Hindutva. Bharatiya Janata Party's power at centre emboldens the right wing. Ayodhya is about one religion trumping another. These are explosive claims in a book by the Congress veteran Salman Khurshid. The book, Sunrise over Ayodhya, has now sparked a fresh chapter of saffron slugfest. The provocative excerpts from Khurshid's book compared the Hindutva ideology to Islamist terror groups like the ISIS and the Boko Haram. Khurshid's book, also called The Construction of Ram Temple in Ayodhya after the Supreme Court Ayodhya judgment, a victory for Hinduism over Islam, asserting that Hinduism has been pushed aside by robust Hindutva similar to jihadists like the ISIS and Boko Haram, also blaming the Bharatiya Janata Party rule for the rise of Hindutva. The Congress has backed Khurshid.
इस देश में हर एक को अपनी बात कहने का अधिकार है, मुझे नहीं है। अब मैंने एक किताब लिखी है, मैंने अपनी बात कह दी। अगर कोई समझता है कि इस बात की वो काट कर सकता है तो वो किताब लिख दे।
हिंदुत्व का हिंदू धर्म से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, सनातनी परंपराओं से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, और ये मूल सनातनी परंपराओं और विचारधाराओं के ठीक विपरीत है।
Everyone who was accused, something like 300 people who were accused, were acquitted. So like no one killed Jessica, nobody demolished the Babri Masjid.
The Bharatiya Janata Party hit back, calling it a Gandhi family-directed plot to defame Hindus and a bid to legitimize jihadi elements by comparing them with the Hindu faith.
You would not even have the courage to take action against the leaders who are hurting the sentiments of the Hindu community under the sinister design planned by the Gandhi Parivar.
उनके मन में इस प्रकार का जहर भरा हुआ है, इस प्रकार की बातें करते हैं, अपनी किताब में इस प्रकार का विष सामने लेकर आते हैं अपने जीवन के, राजनीतिक जीवन के अंतिम चरणों में। क्यों ये बेशरम कोशिश?
All such people who talk of divisive politics learn to conduct their businesses right and believe in oneness of this nation.
Khurshid now faces a police complaint in Delhi for insulting Hindus and fomenting the communal ill will.
Salman Khurshid's latest book, Sunrise over Ayodhya, has stirred up a honestness. In book's chapter Saffron Sky, Khurshid has compared Hindutva with ISI and Boko Haram. Though Khurshid has given a clarification saying he's talking about Hindutva and not Hinduism, but BJP has hit back at the Congress party, setting the stage for another massive showdown ahead of the assembly polls between the two national parties. With journalist Abhishek, this is Supriya Bhardwaj for India Today in Delhi.
So this is Salman Khurshid's new book. It's called Sunrise over Ayodhya, Nationhood in Our Times. It has multiple chapters on the Ayodhya verdict, about the demolition, about triumph and tragedy, about the saffron sky, the law of the unforgiven past, unforgiving present, the president and the justices, Ayodhya to Allahabad, the judgment and the new dawn. But it's the bit about Hindutva which is what is drawing the maximum amount of fire, where the BJP doing multiple press conferences, so much so that even Ghulam Nabi Azad has commented saying he disagrees with Salman Khurshid, saying that comparing Hindutva with the ISIS and jihadist Islam is factually wrong and an exaggeration. Joining me on this broadcast, I want to welcome first, representing Salman Khurshid's party, the Congress, Professor Gaurav Vallabh, its national spokesperson. We have from the BJP, GVL Narasimha Rao, Member of Parliament in the BJP. Priyanka Chaturvedi joins us, Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, ordinarily on Gaurav Vallabh's side, but not on this issue. Garga Chatterjee joins us from the Trinamool. I want to go across to Gaurav Vallabh first to try and explain the Congress's position on the comments made by Salman Khurshid, because the BJP in its press conferences is attacking the Gandhi family, saying you're trying to draw parallels between Hindutva and the ISIS, and this is an insult to those in India who believe in the idea of Hindutva. Gaurav Vallabh.
Rahul, first of all, I can challenge that none of us who is sitting here had read the full book. None of us, including me. What we are trying to do, those two sentences we took out, and we are trying to interpret that in different manner. So before someone comment on the book, he has to read the full book. And I had not read. If Mr. Narasimhan had read, I would love to discuss about, because I read 1 or 2 chapters. But if he had read the full book, I can discuss. So that is about the book, because the book was written by Salman Khurshid. He is the senior Congress leader, but he had written that. It is not the Congress who had published that book. It is not that Congress who had written that book, number one. Number two, Rahul, if I will apply the same analogy, there is no one bigger than Advani ji in Bharatiya Janata Party. I think Mr. GVL will appreciate that and will accept this. What Advani ji said, he had written on when he visited Jinnah's Mazar that Jinnah was the biggest secular leader. What he had written, Jinnah Hindu-Muslim ekta ke pratik hai. What Jaswant Singh, who was also one of the founder of Bharatiya Janasangh, in his book, what he had written, that Jinnah is an ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. There is no one bigger than Advani ji because he's the founder. Does we accept that? Are we going to say that what Mr. Advani had written when he visited Jinnah Mazar is the BJP's stand? Because we consider Jinnah as the person who is responsible for the partition. Because every Indian consider that.
Okay, let GVL Narasimha Rao respond to it. You're seeking to turn the debate on its head by comparing what Lal Krishna Advani said about Jinnah with what Khurshid has said about the ISIS and Hindutva, saying this is as much the Congress's view as Advani's comments about Jinnah was the BJP's standpoint.
Rahul, good evening to you and all the viewers. The Congress party cannot distance itself from what is written in the book. They cannot even claim that these are only personal views of one member of the Congress party, because the entire audience had the who is who of the Congress party in audience, and the program was compared by a Congress spokesperson, and there is no denial or any kind of retraction from the Congress party saying that we do not agree with the views. I don't think any of us have the time to read that book. And I do, from whatever little it has appeared in the media, perhaps it is not even worth reading the book. But what is important is what is written in the book, and the page on which obviously these comments, how they relate to the rest of the book is irrelevant. I think the comment itself is highly condemnable. It is a condemnation of entire Hindu religion. I think it's not purely anti-Hindu. I even consider it anti-Indian, because being Hindu, as Supreme Court defined it, let me inform the audiences how the Honorable Supreme Court in umpteen cases, how it viewed Hinduism and Hindutva. And in a case concerning Bal Thackeray in 1987, a 3-member judge led by a Supreme Court panel, led by none other than late Justice J.S. Verma, who said, a former Chief Justice J.S. Verma, it said, Hindutva is a way of life. And they also said, use of words per se, Hindu, Hinduism or Hindutva, does not depict an attitude hostile to all persons practicing other religions. And here you have Salman Khurshid wanting to compare Hindutva with terror outfits known for their worst forms of brutality.
Okay.
How does Congress party justify it? Is
I just
Congress
want to
party
show our
today
viewers what former
supporting ISIS?
External
Is the
Affairs
Congress
Minister
party supporting
Salman
supporting
Khurshid
Boko Haram?
had to say about his book.
Why
We
does the
spoke to
Congress
him.
party equate
Let's
with
just
Boko
listen to
Haram?
the man in the eye of the storm and then we'll resume this debate.
हमारे साथ इस समय है सलमान खुर्शीद जी, जो कि कांग्रेस पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेता हैं, फॉर्मर कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर है। सर, आपने किताब लिखी है सनराइज ओवर अयोध्या, पर आप बताएंगे इसका मेन हाई पॉइंट्स क्या है?
हाई पॉइंट क्या है कि जो होना था वो हो गया, एक जजमेंट आई है, तो वो जजमेंट एक मौका दे रही है, एक अवसर दे रही है कि हम लोग फिर आपस की दरार को हमेशा हमेशा के लिए समाप्त करें। ये जजमेंट की कोशिश है। अब ऐसे हमारे जीवन में, हमारे सार्वजनिक जीवन में कभी जो मैथमेटिकल इक्वेशंस नहीं होते हैं कि ये 100% सही है, ये 100% गलत है। लेन देन रहती है और आदान प्रदान रहता है और कुछ देना पड़ता है, कुछ लेना पड़ता है, और ये अवसर हमको इस जजमेंट में दिया है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि ऐसा होगा। इस देश में अब ऐसी बातें फिर से नहीं उठेंगी और जो उठाएंगे उनको वो समर्थन नहीं मिल पाएगा जो समर्थन शायद अयोध्या के मामले में लोगों को मिला था। ताकि हम ये माने कि जो हुआ है वो हमको एक अवसर देता है फिर से साथ जोड़ने का।
चैप्टर है सैफरन स्काई, उसके अंदर सनातन धर्म का, हिंदुत्व का, बोको हराम का आपने जिक्र किया। उसके ऊपर काफी तीखी प्रतिक्रिया जो है दूसरी तरफ से भी आई है।
जो हिंदुइज्म नहीं जानता है वो तीखी प्रतिक्रिया करेगा, और जो हिंदुइज्म नहीं जानता है, हिंदू धर्म के बारे में नहीं जानता है, या जो इस्लाम को नहीं समझता है, उससे क्या बहस करेंगे।
सर, इस किताब में आपने कंक्लूजन में कहा है कहीं ना कहीं राम राज्य की बात है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात है, उसको थोड़ा एलैबोरेट करेंगे।
देखिए, लोग समझते हैं कि राम राज एक कॉन्सेप्शन है, एक सोच है हिंदुओं की। राम राज सिर्फ हिंदुइज्म तक सीमित नहीं है। राम राज एक व्यापक एक विचार है, और नाम राम राज है। वैसे ही इस्लाम में जो हमारा इस्लामिक कल्चर है, बिलीफ है, उसमें निज़ाम मुस्तफ़ा होता है कि मुस्तफ़ा का निज़ाम होगा तो कैसा होगा। और अगर दोनों को आप करीब से देखें तो दोनों एक से हैं, दोनों में एक ही बात है, एक ही बात की चर्चा है, एक ही बात का की सोच है, एक ही रास्ता दिखाया गया है। और इसलिए सिर्फ शब्दावली में हम ना घिर जाएं, जो उसके अंदर का जुज़ है, जो उसके अंदर का सच है, उस तक हम पहुंच सके। ऐसा मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि इस किताब से और हम लोग जो भी और कर रहे हैं उससे होगा।
So that was Salman Khurshid. I want to quote from page 113, chapter 6, The Saffron Sky. Whatever rationalization may have been offered, the Ayodhya saga was throughout about the faith, trumping the methods of another. But the form of faith itself was experiencing a contest of interpretation. Sanatan Dharma and classical Hinduism, known to sages and saints, was being pushed aside by a robust version of Hindutva. By all standards, a political version similar to the jihadist Islam of groups like ISIS and Boko Haram of recent years. Since the political content was clear, the term inevitably found place in election campaigns. On this issue, Priyanka Chaturvedi, the Shiv Sena has decided to separate itself from its alliance partner, the Congress, and oppose what Salman Khurshid has written in the book. Can you explain why?
I'll tell you why. Simply because when I was listening to what he was saying with regards to the words, that don't go after the words, try and understand the sentiment. You cannot, when you're trying to explain a sentiment, you cannot connect Hindutva to terrorism. Calling Jinnah secular versus calling an entire religion as those of terrorists like ISIS and Boko Haram is absolutely unacceptable. Talking about reading the entire book and then making a comment on it, if our history was to be read right, books without being read have been banned in our country. So I totally take offense to the fact, whether I believe in Hinduism, Hindutva, or whether it is me being a Hindu. You have heard the sentiments of millions and millions of Hindus who constitute this country and are important voters, not just voters, important residents, and this country belongs to them. For you to make these comments is extremely unfortunate, and instead of winning the confidence of the people of this country, if you try and denounce them and compare them to a terror outfit, I think it's absolutely unacceptable and you should be apologizing for it.
Now here's the problem, Gaurav Vallabh, from the Congress's perspective. There's a big election in Uttar Pradesh. You're hoping to make inroads. One of your prominent leaders from Uttar Pradesh, somebody who's been MP from the state, has gone out and made a comment which is offensive to millions of voters in UP and elsewhere. And in many senses, it's a self-scored goal, because it's not as if people will believe that Hindutva equal to terrorism, because it's not the same thing. There is nothing that Hindutva is doing which is similar to what the Boko Haram or the ISIS have done in Afghanistan and in Africa. So therefore, it's an argument which just puts the Congress in a soup and on the defensive. Do you think Salman Khurshid should have avoided this?
Rahul, in Uttar Pradesh, we are going ahead with our 7 pratigyas. Had we done any pratigya about these type of religious thing? Had we done anything? We are saying that we are going to give 40% reservation to women candidates in the upcoming assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. We are saying we are going to give a scooty and a smartphone to every girl. That is what our pratigyas are. We are saying that we are going to give 2,500 per quintal as a MSP of dhan and 400 rupees per quintal as a MSP of sugarcane. We are saying that, and we believe in that. We are not going into these religious things. Now, coming to what GVL was telling, GVL is telling, I don't want to discuss. I had not read. Then if you have not read any page of that book, if you have not read the full book, and then why you want to discuss? You should not discuss GVL. You should discuss about the governance of Uttar Pradesh. That Uttar Pradesh is right now is the worst performing big state in our country. Out of all parameters, as per the a ranking by a Bangalore-based firm, the Uttar Pradesh is the worst in India, 18th rank in all large states, as far as the equity, as far as the growth, as far as the sustainability is concerned. Let us discuss that. I want to discuss that only, and I am ready to discuss. Our pratigyas are not anything to do with what Mr. Salman Khurshid had written. Our pratigyas are for the people.
Garga Chatterjee, I'm curious to know whether you at all agree with Salman Khurshid, given the kind of positions you've taken on the BJP on issues of Hindutva. What's the thinking? Do you actually think that Salman Khurshid is wrong, or do you actually support him?
That's what I am saying.
Garga.
See, the word Hindutva was first coined by Chandranath Bosu, a Bengali, in the 1890s, 1892 to be exact, okay, and later used by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who said this was the traditional Hindu cultural view, which is what the Supreme Court has upheld. Now, this is not to be confused with what the BJP, RSS, all of these organizations represent. Since we are talking about books, let me very briefly, 2 lines, let me quote from 2 books. One is called We, Our Nation, defined by M.S. Golwalkar of the RSS. Quote, to keep up the purity of the nation and its culture, Germany shocked the world by purging the country of Semitic races, the Jews. National pride at its highest has been manifested here. A good lesson for us in Hindustan to learn and profit by. Okay, so this is from the RSS head, and what we talk about this purging is basically 7 to 8 million people. Then I will quote again 2 lines from the collected works of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who said that the national flag must be universally accepted, and if anyone thought of having an alternative to the national flag, there must be a fight, and that fight must be open and constitutional. We are talking about an organization, the RSS, not Hindutva, not Hindus, which did not fly the national flag and for 52 long years and did not even acknowledge it. Now, given that within the ideological ecology of these sort of organizations, we have Hindu Bengalis incarcerated in the detention camps, okay? I would like to know whether the descendants of Chandranath Bosu, the Bengali Hindu, they are the Hindus, or these people are the Hindus? People who want genocide, people who want to basically disrespect the national flag, who are Hindus? I am a Hindu. I am a Bengali Hindu. Chandranath Bosu, who coined the term Hindutva, was a Bengali Hindu. The people incarcerated by the BJP in detention camps are Bengali Hindus. These guys are not.
Okay.
So let's not make
JVL
this a
Narasimha
fight
Rao, the
between
argument that
anything to do
Salman
with
Khurshid
Hindu or
made in that
Hindu.
interview we did with him was, this is my view. You want to counter it? Write your own book. This is what I have written in my book. I am entitled by the law of this land to have my point of view. And JVL Narasimha Rao, anybody else in the BJP is welcome to write his own book on Ayodhya's judgment.
Rahul, if these were his individual views and if the Congress were officially to distance itself, one can give them a benefit of doubt. But you have even a Congress spokesperson sitting here not even condemning the remarks that have been made. We are discussing the specific reference to the Hindutva and likening it to ISIS and other terror groups, Boko Haram. This is not acceptable. Secondly, what Mr. Salman Khurshid writes in another part of the book, this is an excerpt that I have, and it's an explosive excerpt, and I would like you to please pay attention to it. He says, a section in our party, the Congress party, is apologetic about our support for the minorities. It advocates leadership's Janavdhari identity. So he is accusing a section of the Congress party which does not like the fact that Congress is pro-minorities, and it rather supports Janavdhari identity that the Congress leadership wants to promote. And I want to know, which section does Gaurav Bhallabh belong? Does he belong to the Janavdhari identity section, or does he belong to the ISIS identity section? I think the Congress spokespersons must really
Priyanka has a wry smile on her face as you say these things,
they don't want to
because in another capacity she would have been in the firing line having to do what Gaurav Bhallabh is doing. Priyanka, you're happy you're out of that, leaving this ideological ambiguity and these cross messages between the Janu that Rahul Gandhi wants to project and the kind of comments that Salman Khurshid is making, that at least you can now take a clearer position without getting caught in this ideological crosswire, Priyanka.
No, I don't think there is any ideological cobweb here. They are free to choose what they want to do. They are free to support who they want to. They are free to defend who they want to. It's not about clarity. It is about the intent. So if the leadership believes that what he has said is okay and you all have to come and defend it, then that's something that Gaurav Bhallabh is prone to do. However, the larger question in this particular debate is, writing a book for another book is not the answer. You have to understand, when you talk about sentiments, when you compare the entire religion to a terrorist organization, organizations which do not believe in the rule of law, the organizations that believe in subjugating people, the organizations who believe in compulsively following only one faith, otherwise they will be killed or they do not deserve to live. Comparing an entire section of this country as those of the terror outfits in thought and in deed is absolutely an unfortunate comparison to make. Whether they want to pursue Janavdhari politics, they do not wish to pursue Janavdhari politics. Congress has been an umbrella party. It can have a mix of people, mix of thought processes. But what it cannot do is hurt the sentiments of people who are ultimately the ones who decide the governments that are formed, and they decide which government speaks for them.
Gaurav Bhallabh, JVL Narasimha Rao had an important point. If you're indeed saying that these are Salman Khurshid's views alone, why don't you come out officially and distance the Congress party from Khurshid's comments? In what you've said, you've linked it with Advani and Jinnah. You've spoken about a lot without clearly saying that the Congress doesn't agree with Salman Khurshid and the Hindutva is not the same as ISIS and Boko Haram.
Rahul, I am laughing that GVL is talking about books, because he had written one book titled as Democracy at Risk, where he had questioned about the EVM functioning. Now, whether Mr. GVL believe in what he had written in that book or that is gone garbage, I'm just asking a simple question.
Absolutely.
GVL Saab, please allow me to complete. GVL Saab, please let us know.
I need to respond.
Please don't shout. Please let me complete.
Yes.
GVL Saab, that what you had written, that EVMs can be manipulated. Do you still believe that that is true?
Yes.
What you had written in your book, or you want to take back
at that time?
Yes.
Please, without VVPAT, without paper trail, there was a risk.
Please, today's
EVMs are not the same.
Have patience. And GVL
No,
sir
We'll come back to
don't
you
give
for
us
a counter.
because you
GVL,
pointed out
let
my
him make
book.
his
I'm
point.
saying-
Please,
Gaurav Vallabh is being
GVL, sir.
mischievous. Gaurav Vallabh is being mischievous. He's raising an issue which has nothing to do with this debate. But
No,
since
I'm
it's a
not saying-
free and
I'm
fair
not saying
debate, I'll let you make a
Rahul,
very
I'm not
quick
saying-
point.
I'm saying-
20
I'm saying
seconds and then
let-
I go to GVL for a response.
Okay, Rahul, I'm saying to please, GVL should not talk much about the book. Second thing, GVL don't lecture us about the Hinduism, because we had seen Prime Minister visited Kedar Baba with juta, with goggles. अरे गॉगल पहन के कौन सी आरती होती है? हमको तो लग रहा है ये कुंकू और मोली लेके आरती होती है. अब तो आरती सामग्री में चश्मा भी आएगा, काला चश्मा. Is this a part of the Sanatan Sanskriti that when we are going to worship, when we are going to go to the temple, we require a kala chashma? Is this a puja samagri now? Is that chamde ka juta is allowed to enter into temples? Is that what we are supposed to do? Are we supposed to enter into temples with videos, with the videographers, so that our temple puja can be live telecasted? So don't give us lectures on Hinduism, and please tell us whether EVMs can be still manipulated or not. Please tell us.
Okay, GVL, quick response.
Yes. Yeah, first of all, I think Gaurav is deliberately misleading, or he is uninformed. The EVMs today, every vote you cast has a paper trail, which is what we had demanded in the book, and we had got that. So therefore, today's voting cannot be compared to the voting before 2014. That answers your question. Therefore, our effort led to a reform. Then Gaurav is trying to really jump all over, but not answer the questions. Is he a part of Jane Udhari Congress, or is he a part of Jinnah or Vote Bank Congress? And why is the Congress party not directly distancing itself from Salman Khurshid? They had all the Hindu skeptics on the stage. Chidambaram, who coined the Hindu terror, who tried to abuse entire religion, was actually on the stage with Salman Khurshid, sharing the stage with Salman. There was Digvijay Singh, who is known to sympathize with Hafiz Saeed and Islamic terror groups in Pakistan. He was on the stage sharing the dais with him. So obviously, the Congress party is fully backing Mr. Salman Khurshid on his anti-Hindu comments, and therefore I see this as an attempt by the Congress party not just to polarize Muslim votes in competition with Samajwadi Party and MIM. There is one part of the Congress which has MIM, which has OIC as its face. There is another Congress which has a fake Hindu claiming to be a Jane Udhari, projecting to the Hindu community. The Congress will fall between the two stools as it did in the past.
जो अपनी भक्ति का लाइव टेलीकास्ट कर रहा है उनके साथ हो, या जो अपनी भक्ति भगवान के साथ अकेले में कर रहा है उनके साथ हो. Please let us know, GVL, आप किनके साथ हो? Are you with the चश्माधारी भक्त?
No, we are discussing. We will discuss that separately. Gaurav, please tell us: are you condemning Mr. Salman Khurshid, or are you supporting his views? Simple.
Okay. No, one second. I can't allow this debate to get derailed. Gorga Chatterjee has his finger up. I'm going to go across to him because the focus here really is on the unfairness of the comparison between Hindutva and ISIS and Boko Haram. Even if you're not a fan of the Hindutva ideology, to compare the kind of excesses the ISIS or the Boko Haram have carried out with the Hindutva ideology, which you can politically, ideologically oppose, how would you come out and even want to support that?
I think we saw here again on display what are the questions that BJP wants to take up and what are the questions BJP wants to avoid. So let me repeat those questions. I just quoted from the RSS chief. Now, Salman Khurshid is some important congressman, but this is the RSS chief, Golwalkar, saying that there are very good lessons, positive lessons to be taken from the Nazi genocide of millions of Jews, okay, and that is national pride. This GVL Narasimha Rao was mum. Number two, I quoted from the collected works of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who said that anybody who does not fly the Indian national flag, the tricolor, has to be fought constitutionally and openly. People of India doing that fight. GVL Narasimha Rao, whose parent organization RSS did not fly the national flag, did not even acknowledge that flag for 52 years, kept mum. I also mentioned how Bengali Hindus are being kept in detention camps under the ruse of being Bangladeshis, not only Bengali Hindus from Bangladesh who have suffered religious persecution and on whose question, even today after 1 month, the Prime Minister is mum. He is completely mum because contracts in Bangladesh are going to his friends, okay? That we have seen. We have seen Gangadhar Pramanik from West Bengal, Birbhum, from Bankura district. He went to Kamakha. Okay, he's a Ghoti, if you'll understand. He's an original West Bengal person. He went to Kamakha and then he has been rotting in detention camp for 5 years. He is a Hindu. Chandranath Bosu, who coined the term Hindutva, is a Hindu. These guys are not. There has to be only one Hindu.
Okay, Priyanka Chaturvedi, I'm running out of time on this debate. I'm going to come across to you for quick final comments on whether comments by your alliance partner, senior leaders from your alliance partner, do you believe put the alliance in Maharashtra in jeopardy, because suddenly you're forced to answer questions which you'd rather stay away from, which don't sit well with your own worldview at all?
So firstly, Salman Khurshid is not the president of the Congress party for it to shake any alliance. And very clearly we have come together on the basis of working for the people of Maharashtra, and we have come across the entire agenda of governing Maharashtra. So that question does not arise. Our ideologies could be different, our thought processes could be different. We are not an alliance which will say, if they say yes, we say yes. If they say sunrise in the west instead of the east, we'll continue to say that. We have a very clear ideas. But I'll just end it with one small thing. Considering there was an argument going on whether tilakdhari, janeudhari, chashmadhari, jutedhari, whatever, this only explains how, I would say, inclusive my religion is, how inclusive Hindu dharma is, how it believes Vasudeva Kutumbakam and everybody is equal in front of them, whether you come as a janeudhari, whether you come with your chashma, you come without your chashma. And for y'all to compare it, because you all want to express some sentiment, some sentiment which does not exist to a terror organization, is absolutely unacceptable. And I think that is something that they could look within and try and analyze why narratives are built and why these narratives do not align with the people of the country.
Okay, so to say that you don't agree with Hindutva ideology and want to fight it is one thing. To compare Hindutva with ISIS and Boko Haram is quite another. A classical self-goal by a senior Congress leader, putting the party on the defensive, forcing everyone else. I'm out of time. GVL, you want to make a quick comment, 20 seconds before I wrap up?
Quick. Yeah, Rahul, the Congress party is trying to project itself to be the Babar Congress because they see some political benefit in Uttar Pradesh. And certainly they would want to transform soon after. And that's the reason why this Congress is not distancing itself from Salman Khurshid comment. As regards TMC, I think they don't believe in the politics. They don't believe in genuine political democracy. If there is one political terror organization, it is the Trinamool Congress, which has been killing, which has been indulging in violence.
We attempt to ensure that our guests don't speak over each other, because that defeats the whole purpose of having a debate. The idea is to listen to different points of view and then help our viewers form theirs. Gaurav Vallabh, standing at first slip, had a few wrong ones coming in today, but he was also trying to defend a very weak case. Priyanka Chaturvedi, GVL Narasimha Rao, Gaurav Vallabh and Gaurav Chatterjee for joining me on the News Track. Thank you very much. When I come back, we'll get you all the updates from Chennai and from coastal districts of Tamil Nadu, which witnessed heavy rainfall. Details coming up on the other side of a very quick break. You're watching the News Track. You're on board the News Track. Chennai got that sinking feeling once again as rains battered the Tamil Nadu capital. India Today's reporters were on the ground across the length and breadth of Chennai to report on the crisis.
We are in Velachery and we are on a rescue boat. This is something that has been set up by the Fire and Rescue Department of Tamil Nadu, and we can see here the rescue officers are rowing the boat and going inwards and checking if there is anybody who is in need of help, because this entire region has been inundated. There's around 4 feet of water that is logged here, is what officials have been telling us, and all through the day they've been going in and out and checking with people if they want want to go inside or outside, and also as to what kind of need they have. In fact, I have with me this fire and rescue officer. Sir, என்ன மாதிரி உதவிகள் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க? எவ்வளவு வாட்டி இன்னைக்கு நீங்க வெளியிலயும் உள்ளேயும் போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க?
தமிழ்நாடு தீயணைப்பு மீட்பு பணிகள் துறை தென்சென்னை மாவட்டத்தின் சார்பாக முதற்கண் வணக்கம். இயக்குனர் ஐயா அவர்களின் உத்தரவின்படி இணை இயக்குனர் அம்மா அவர்களின் நேரடி மேற்பார்வையில் மாவட்ட அலுவலர் தென்சென்னை அவர்கள் அறிவுரையின்படி வேளச்சேரி தீயணைப்பு நிலைய பணியாளர்கள் ரப்பர் போட் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய இந்த மீட்பு பணிக்கு பயன்படுத்தி வரும், காலையிலிருந்து பயன்படுத்தி வரும். இதுவரை சுமார் 38 ஆண்கள் பெண்கள், அதில் 4 குழந்தைகள் இதுவரை மீட்டு கொண்டு போய் பாதுகாப்பான இடத்தில் ஒப்படைத்திருக்கிறோம்.
They have actually rescued 38 people so far and have left them in safer zones than where they were. If my camera person can pan and show you, you can see how this entire house is inundated. There is waterlogging all through the place. There are people standing on the first floors of the buildings and seeing what is really happening here.
This is Chennai, where after a whole night's rain and drizzling across the day with intermittent heavy rainfall, this is how the city looks. For the day, in several areas, more than 14 centimeters rain has been received, and right now you could see that even the sea over there is raging actually, and that's the reason fishermen has been asked not to venture into the sea. The boats are on the shore. People have been also requested not to venture out. Yes, the rains have subsided a bit, but still IMD and various other department officials request the people to stay inside just to make sure that no untoward incident occurs until the water recedes. This is one of the areas near Marina, the mighty Marina, and there you can see the bird's eye view of what's happening over here. Currently, the rain has subsided, but still officials are trying to be precautious, and that's the reason in several parts power supply has been cut off, and people, they are definitely suffering because of waterlogging in several areas. Questions are being raised about the city plan, the smart city plan and everything. Yes, political bickering also there, but currently we have a breather as the rains have subsided a bit, and this is how Chennai looks. With very recipient, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
As Chennai buckled under the deluge, Inspector E. Rajeshwari carried an unconscious man from a cemetery to safety. The video has gone viral on social media, and Rajeshwari is being hailed as the Lady Singham of Chennai.
Amid scenes of deluge all across Tamil Nadu comes this defining image. This is Inspector E. Rajeshwari carrying an unconscious man from a cemetery to safety. Barefooted, trousers rolled up, she did not wait for more help, choosing to carry the man on her own shoulders. Hailed the Lady Singham on internet, Rajeshwari rushed the victims in an auto rickshaw to get the medical attention he desperately needed. It all began when Inspector Rajeshwari got a call from the control room saying that a man had died after a tree fell on him at the cemetery. Upon reaching the spot, Rajeshwari realized he is alive.
Chennai police team, that's why we have come all the way to appreciate them and be part of this team to see how good they have been functioning. So it's really, really very much appreciable, definitely. All the kudos goes to her, Inspector Rajeshwari.
சின்ன இடத்துல அப்படியே அவர் படுத்து கிடக்குறாரு. ஃபுல்லா மழையில அப்படியே ஊறி நனைஞ்சி போயிருந்தாரு. பாடியை நாங்க தூக்கும்போது கொஞ்சம் போல உயிர் இருந்தது. உடனே நாங்க அவருக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எய்ட் கொடுத்து அவரை கூட்டிட்டு தோள்ல தூக்கிட்டு போட்டு அந்த சமயம் வண்டியும் கிடைக்கல.
This isn't the first time Inspector Rajeshwari has displayed outstanding commitment to duty. She was part of the investigations that booked more than a dozen suspects who allegedly raped a hearing-impaired Chennai girl in 2018. She has also cracked a child trafficking case. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the news track tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.